Hi there, it's Belinda Weaver here. I am a copy coach, and today I want to talk to you about copywriting. Of course, that's what I always talk about, but more specifically, copywriting as a skill versus copywriting as a talent. It's very easy to think of writing as something that talented people do. And I'm definitely in this camp. I've always thought to be an author, to be a proper writer, then you need to write creatively, write fiction, write poetry, that kind of thing. And to do that, you need to have a certain talent. What I found when I became a copywriter, when I found out copywriting was a thing, I was so relieved to find out that I could learn it. It was a series of techniques and processes. It was a skill. That meant I could learn it. It wasn't a talent that was unattainable to me. Now, however you think about writing or even other things, I want you to know that copywriting and being a really great copywriter isn't part of someone's DNA. It's not genetic. It is absolutely a skill. Now, there are some people who make things look easy. Maybe that's me. Maybe I make it look easy to you. And there are definitely people who kind of pick up things and have a knack for them. Like people who are more inclined to be musical, not me. People who are more inclined to be sporty, not me. People who are more inclined to be detail oriented problem solvers, also not me. But while it's true that some people are kind of almost born with a greater sense of potential, they have a knack for things without the hard work, without practicing, talent comes to nothing. And there are people, so many people, I'd even put myself in this, that don't have any obvious talent, but who apply themselves and become masters. And I feel like this is what's possible for copywriting. It's like any other skill. You learn it, you practice it, you get better, and maybe one day you master it as well. Although mastering something kind of implies that you're at the end. And one thing I love about copywriting is that it feels like there's always more to learn and always ways to add depth and breadth to your skills. But it starts with the idea that anyone can write. You do not need a degree to be a copywriter. You do not need a certificate to be a copywriter. You do not have to have completed something in order to say, yes, I'm a copywriter. But you do need to understand the specific copywriting techniques that drive persuasion and drive action. You do need to understand the mechanics of marketing and influence and where copywriting fits in. And you need to understand that there is a process to good writing. So there is a process for brainstorming, even having ideas. Creativity has a process. But there's a process for research. There's a process for the construction of copy. And there's a process for editing. Because good copy is constructed. It's a series of blocks that you can put together in different ways for different goals. And while I might make it look easy, it's just 10 years of applying the same researching, brainstorming, and writing techniques over and over and over again until they've become second nature. It looks like instinct when I do live editing in my programs and in my membership, but it's not. It's more like muscle memory because I've done it over and over again. So if you're in the early stages of your copywriting career or you're an aspiring copywriter, this is something you want to get into. The earlier you can learn the techniques and the technical craft of copywriting, and the more you can practice them, the better a copywriter you will be because you're not making it up as you go along. And so many copywriters become copywriters just by writing on instinct. I was working in marketing. I didn't know copywriting was a thing, but I wrote a lot of copy and I wrote instinctively. I wrote what sounded good. I wrote what felt right, but there was no process application, no technical application in what I was doing. And a lot of copywriters start like that. And that's completely fine, but there is a limit to how far we can go when we're just making it up. We can't do more complicated projects like email sequences and strategy work and sales pages and launching. That's the stuff that really earns the big bucks, and we can't do that unless we have a really strong foundation in the basics, and that we know that when we sit down to a copywriting project, we follow a series of steps. We can't do those more complicated, high-paying projects when we're simply writing on instinct. So the earlier you can understand the technical craft of copywriting, and the more you can practice it, the more confident you will feel to take on more and more complex projects. So just like not needing a certificate in order to become a copywriter, you don't have to take a course either. I have a copywriting program and it's launching in May. And so what does it offer if you don't need a program? Well, it offers all the information in one place. It offers worksheets and exercises put together for you so you can practice. And most importantly, it offers weekly coaching with me so that you can get feedback. You're not just writing in a vacuum, wondering if you're doing it right and thinking it might be okay. You're getting feedback on whether it is what you did well and what the next step is and what the gaps are to fill. Now that's invaluable. That's a pressure cooker that accelerates your progress, but it's not required. There's a lot of amazing information out there on the technical craft of copywriting. What is actually required is an interest in learning, an interest in practicing, and a desire to always be improving. And an understanding that we all start somewhere and we build on it. You don't need to know all the things in the beginning of your copywriting career. You need to have a strong foundation in the basics so that you can build on it. It's very easy sometimes when you learn that there's another dimension to the work you're doing. You've been writing something in a certain way and feeling pretty good about it, and then you find out this extra layer of thinking to think, well, I know nothing. I know nothing. This is what I should have been doing all along. But no, it's just another layer that adds depth and breadth to your understanding. And when you become confident in that new layer, you charge more, you take on different projects. That is the growth that you can experience. And it's the journey we're all on. You don't need to know all the things, but you can't build on your skills with a shaky foundation. It really is worth investing in that technical craft, learning the basics, making sure you've got them down, systemizing your writing process. That is how you build more quickly and get to where you want to go. So, love to learn and go easy on yourself.